This video originally aired as part of Teching 101's charity stream to benefit the Children's Tumor Foundation. Please check the link in the description to learn more, and be sure to show Teching 101 some love. He is genuinely one of the coolest and nicest people on YouTube. What is up everybody, it's Animac here for AnimeUproar, and in this video we will be talking about the one thing that we can learn from almost all shonen protagonists. And this one thing is an absolutely essential lesson to not only learn but also apply in our own daily lives. Shonen anime and manga may be primarily geared towards a male teenage audience, but this particular lesson never gets old. It's not gender specific, and it is as useful for a teenager as it is for an octogenarian. We've all noticed it before, even if we haven't actually given it much thought. And in many ways, this has become a cliche with shonen protagonists. But the fact is that almost every shonen MC has a clear overarching goal or purpose. Luffy wants to become the Pirate King, Ash wants to become a Pokemon Master, Naruto wants to become the Hokage, Asta from Black Clover wants to become the Wizard King, Deku wants to become the greatest hero, Goku wants to get stronger and keep fighting stronger opponents, and so on. In sports anime, the protagonist usually wants to be the best he can be, or for his team to do as well as possible. And the MC in Food Wars wants to become the sexiest chef or whatever. I still have to watch that one, so I'm just assuming here. Sometimes the protagonist's overall goal isn't necessarily an affirmative one. For instance, Eren from Attack on Titan wants to kill all the Titans and right the horrible injustice that he had to endure as a child when he lost his home and his mother to the Titans. Now I know that there are people out there who can't really relate to Eren, but as someone who lived through the Yugoslav civil wars as a child and was a refugee during the war, I understand how Eren feels. Thankfully, I didn't lose any members of my immediate family during the war, but my family did lose everything we owned, including our home, and we had to flee and start over from scratch. Other protagonists like Meliodas from the Seven Deadly Sins have an overarching goal that isn't revealed until later. And I won't mention what it is right now so as to avoid spoilers, but the fact is that the vast majority of shonen protagonists have some sort of clear goal, some purpose that drives their actions. Even though in most stories their journey is what really matters, not necessarily the destination. So for example, even if Luffy never actually becomes the Pirate King, fans of One Piece will still love the series. But the MC's goal does matter because it drives his actions and informs his decisions. If Luffy's goal was to be a small town fisherman, or if Deku's goal was to be an accountant, the stories of One Piece and Boku no Hero would be very different. So we know that the purpose of a shonen protagonist matters for the story, but what exactly does that have to do with the real world? As cliche as it sounds to want to be the best this or the greatest that, it is actually extremely important for human beings to have a clear purpose to their lives. From the philosophers of ancient Greece like Plato and Aristotle, and Romans like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, to modern day thinkers and gurus of self-development like Dale Carnegie and Tony Robbins, wise people have been saying the same thing for thousands of years. Humans need to have a purpose in their lives in order to feel happy and fulfilled. Positive goals and a clear purpose gives our lives meaning. It inspires and motivates us to work harder and reach greater heights. Heights that we could never have even imagined if we didn't have a goal that drives us. Since you and me are not anime protagonists, we don't have to be the next master, wizard, pirate, king of heroes, but we do all need a positive goal, a passion and a purpose that drives us and inspires us. This could be something as simple as providing for your family or helping others by volunteering or working as a nurse. Or it could be something ambitious like becoming the president, ending world hunger by inventing a new way to farm food, or finding the cure for terrible diseases. In the modern age, many people have lost sight of how important it is to have a purpose. And many of us drift through life without knowing what exactly we want out of it. We don't know what to study, we don't know what type of career we want, and so many of us end up studying and doing what other people, such as our parents, want us to do instead of what we want to do. Our entire lives we are told that what matters most is going to school so that we can find a good job, so that we can make lots of money, and so on. But money in itself is not a goal, it's not a purpose. Sure, we need money to survive, but money is not the end goal. If your primary goal in life is just to make as much money as possible, you can never be happy or satisfied. There is always more money out there to be made. There is always someone richer than you, someone with an advantage that you don't have that gives them the upper hand over you, and so on. Trying to make as much money as possible just means that you will work yourself too hard, because every moment that you are resting or doing something else, you will feel guilty that you're not out there making more money. At that point, money, which can be a blessing, becomes a curse and an addiction, and eventually being obsessed with making more money will have a negative impact on our relationships and on our physical health. In the past, most people found their life's purpose in religion. Religious teachings told us how to live our lives if we want to be rewarded in the afterlife, and the meaning of life was defined by the values of our religion. And while many people are still religious today, in the modern world in which the focus is on science and physical reality rather than belief and metaphysics, there are a lot more people who no longer embrace religion as their primary purpose in life. There are certainly many negatives to embracing any doctrine, religious or otherwise, without questioning or thinking for yourself. So the fact that we no longer live in a world that is controlled by strict religious fundamentalism is a good thing. However, there are also negative consequences to having no purpose at all. And with the movement of modern society away from relying exclusively on religion for purpose and meaning, there is a danger that we will be left without any purpose at all, wandering meaninglessly through life, not knowing who we want to be, what we want to do, and what, if anything, we want to achieve. In Western liberal democratic societies in particular, there is a heavy emphasis on individualism and everyone doing whatever they want as long as they don't violate the rights of others. But while this may work for people who are decisive and know exactly what they want in life, there are many others who don't know what they want to do in life or who they want to be, and this can create serious problems for them. If you are pressured to go to school and study and then find a job that makes you lots of money, but you have no idea what you want to do and no guidance other than you need to get a job and make money, chances are that you will feel pressured to do something that you don't want to do and you won't be happy. Even if you do get a good job and make lots of money, you may be doing something that you hate. And if you can't cope with the pressure to find that high-paying job, you may withdraw from society altogether, becoming a permanent NEET or even a hikikomori. Japan obviously has an issue with this type of strict social pressure having a negative impact on some segments of society, but this pressure is present in other nations as well. And this is where the Shounen Protagonists come in. Each and every one of us, regardless of what other people are telling us or expecting from us, needs to stop and think. What do we really want to do in life? What makes us happy? What is our purpose? In this sense, Shounen protagonists are great role models because they often have that clear purpose. Sometimes it is an unconventional purpose, a purpose that breaks the mold of society. Like, for example, Deku wanting to be the strongest hero even though he is quirkless, or Asta wanting to be the Wizard King even though he has no magic. If these guys were just listening to everyone around them and following the norms of their society, they would have given up on their dreams and gotten regular jobs that might not make them happy, but would make them enough money to lead a normal life. And of course, eventually these two protagonists get lucky thanks to plot convenience, and Deku inherits a quirk that makes him strong, while Asta gets the ability to use anti-magic to nullify the magic of others. But while that is definitely plot convenience, the fact is that if Deku and Asta had given up on their dreams after realizing that they had no natural abilities, they never would have been in the position to get lucky in the first place. Back when my brother Gozen and I started working on our YouTube channel together, I was in school studying a completely unrelated field and I had no knowledge of video editing or the business aspect of YouTube. If I just stuck with what I knew and didn't go out on a limb to try something new, I never would have become an anime YouTuber in the first place. I certainly wouldn't have become one if I had listened to what others thought and to the social pressures around me, because my parents and almost everyone else I knew told me to focus on getting a quote real job and stop wasting time on YouTube. Of course, at some point we got lucky and the videos we put out on our channel caught traction. And not everyone gets to that point, but if I had listened to the social pressures and if I hadn't taken a shot in the dark with YouTube, I never would have gotten to the point where I could get lucky in the first place. Just like Deku, if he had given up on his dream of being a hero when he found out that he was quirkless, never would have had the opportunity to inherit One for All. And this is one of the big life lessons that we can learn from Shounen protagonists. Think about what you would want to do in life. Think about what you consider to be fun and meaningful and what would make you happy. Identify your goal, identify your purpose, and then pursue it. Pursue it even if it's an unconventional goal, even if the odds are stacked against you and most people are telling you to give it up. If it's something you love, then the journey will be fun even without the destination. And who knows, you might get lucky and find some kind of power-up on the way that changes your entire situation. Like Deku inheriting One for All, or a YouTube channel getting a hit video that suddenly helps the channel grow exponentially. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and feel free to give me your feedback on this video in the comments or on social media. Just hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar. I want to give a big thank you to our AnimeUproar patrons for supporting this type of content, including Urbano Tovar, the one and only Gilgamesh, and Original Ink. If you'd like to support more analytical and motivational content on this channel, consider becoming a patron, link in the description. If you guys enjoyed this type of video, you can leave a like to let me know. I'll be happy to make more in the future. And until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.